Have you or someone you know been the victim of Brunswick pinsetters setting pins off spot? When you leave the 5/6, does it look like this when it picks it up and puts it back down? Clearly not where you left it. When you pick up the split, does your ball go right in between it and not touch either pin? We here at the Garage Bowling Alley are here to help. All right, welcome back to the Garage Bowling Alley. I got up this morning, was having breakfast, checked my messages, and I had a message from Lynn Curtis. Said he bowls in a center with A2 pin setters, and the 6-pin was on going first ball to second ball, was off spot quite a bit. What you got missing there is a scissor pad. It's about 6 or 7 inches long. So it's just a rectangular piece of like rubber. It's got some little teeth on one side. That's the part that actually picks up the pin. But anyways, they fall off. They're glued on from the factory. Eventually they fall off. A lot of mechanics zip tie them back on. There's some newer ones that have like a slot made in them. And you can slip them on to the arm. But all the factory ones, and most of them are just like this block here. They're meant to be glued on. Zip tying them is a temporary fix to get it through league, but go back and glue them on and you won't have to do it again. Promise you, if you do it right. So get you some contact cement and fix them properly. But to get them through league right now, a couple of zip ties will fix it. Let me show you how that works. Notice as the machine comes down, it picks up the 6-pin, but it's hanging down and crooked because the pad's missing. If you're not missing a pad, the scissors could be that worn out and need to be replaced. All right, first things first, before we get in that pin setter, I'm going to turn off that electrical box. Mine's an older Otis A pin setter, front-facing electrical box. Shortly after this one, they flipped the box around so it's facing the back. But don't get in that pin setter till you turn out that breaker, and even unplug the pin setter while you're at it too. Added precaution. All right, here we are under my one of my most favorite places to be, the Brunswick pin setter. Sure you got that electrical box off so it doesn't come on. But let's look at the scissor pads and I'll show you what I'm looking for here. Notice the 4-pin has a pad right here. Then we go over to the 5-pin. You see a scissor pad there. Look at the 6-pin. We're missing a pad. Let me look up in here a little closer, see where the arm is. There's no pad. Used to be glued on there. Here's the 5-pin. Has a pad. 6-pin, no pad. So we need to glue that on. This is what you're missing. See where it's glued on right there? That's glued on from the factory, back in 1955, 56. So it's been on there for a while. Normally when they fall off, if you can't find one, look back in here between the shaker frame and the back of the lane. They'll slide off there and go straight down. May never see them again until you pull your shaker board. Any Brunswick mechanic, when they pull these shaker boards out, find scissor pads, fingernails, fake fingernails, thumb inserts, all kinds of stuff. Or look in between here, between the kickback and the shaker, in case it falls down the side. If not, look in your cross conveyor. Scissor pads come up here, come to rest up there at the base of the cross conveyor. So just turn down your pan, look in there. Never know what you might find. There's a lot of stuff gets back in the pinwheel, rides around with the pin, gets in the turn pan, and then comes to rest at the back or the base of the cross conveyor and just lays there because it's out of the way. So look back in there. If you don't find it in the cross conveyor, side, or down here. Scissor pads just don't disappear. They're around somewhere. Here is a quick fact. The 7-pin is the only scissor pad that has a notch cut out in it. See how the notch is cut out the end of it there? Because of the cable right here. They notch out that scissor pad. So if you see a pad notched, or you're replacing one on the 7-pin side here, make sure you have the notched scissor pad there. So let's fix our scissor pad. You, of course, will need 2 zip ties. Normally they're glued in, so if you got the time to glue them in, that's the proper way to do it. If you're in the middle of the league, you don't have time to do that. So here's our pad. I'm going to put it it can go either way, but I'm going to put it the same way it came out here. You can tell where it's laying in there. You can see the back of the arm It's kind of a raised spot, kind of where my middle finger is right there. So just put it there. Get your one zip tie. Make sure you're only zip tying the arm, that you don't get caught under. There's like a little wire piece that goes around here that the scissor rides on. A lot of them are probably missing or not even on later pin setters, but don't want to zip tie it to something or else you're going to only have more problems. Zip tie there. And another zip tie up front. This will get you through league. It'll be a quick fix, make your bowlers happy. I can get the tail in the zip tie here. There we go. Put that one on up here. Snip off the ends. And they are, every time the scissor opens and closes, that plastic is dragging on something. So the plastic of the zip tie is eventually going to break. So you want to use a really good zip tie, but don't make that a permanent fix. Get back and glue it in later on, because eventually that plastic will wear through. Scissor pad's going to fall off again. You're going to be in here doing it again. So save yourself the time and trouble. Glue it in. And here we have our happy pin setter once more. Got the scissor pad zip tied in. Pin's picking it properly. Puts it right back down on spot. Thanks for watching, everybody. Give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Keep checking back. Thanks.